felt like a home contest for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
I heard Lisa Bluter say that there are going to be so many people here to support them again in this game, and you love to see that fan support from the Iowa Hawkeyes group.
Miller shuffles it off to Pinzon, who brings it back out. Maryland has won 12 of their last 13 games, just 2 losses since December 4th. Miller on the road against this Iowa team and against Indiana.
Well, in speaking and listening in at shoot-around this morning for Maryland, Brenda Free said, okay, Iowa's going to show their zone, which they did on that first possession, and then they'll mix it up. They'll play man-to-man, which Lisa Bluter calls player-to-player as well.
Caitlin Clark, like a pitcher throwing a strike.
That's that 1-2 punch that Brenda Free wants to quiet down in this game, like last game. And they won by 28 points, we were talking about earlier.
Lisa Pinzon with the mid-range jumper. Normally not counted on to score, but one of 9 new players on this team as Clark tries to get free from Pinzon, and again threads the needle. McKenna Warnock can't quite get the roll.
But what a pass. My goodness, I didn't even see that coming.
Short corner shot, another mid-range, and another bucket for the Terrapins.
8 assists a game, and this is why. Long passes that are right into the shooting pocket of one. Monica Sonano, who returned for a 5th year.
And then she nails her first 3. A hot start for Caitlin Clark in the Hawkeyes.
Catch and shoot. If you're Maryland, you have to replicate what you did last time defensively, but Lisa Bluter said, hey, we're going to put her in some screening actions to free her up from that boxing one attention, which they took as a compliment.
A long 2 for the Terrapins. It's consisted the majority of their shots as Miller sticks around with Sellers to try and deter Clark before she gets over the half-court line. Gabby Marshall poked away from behind.
When she takes 3s, leaning like that to her left, that's just beautifully executed and confidently taken and made.
Kate Martin, the fake.
They understand the assignment because they passed the test last year and want to pass it again this year.
Is the glue player for this Iowa team coming back next year as well.
And she is just so tough-minded and team first with her mentality. It's been fun to watch her compete.
Iowa forcing the Terps to go deep. And the 3 by Briggs, a hand in her face.
Well, that was a tough bucket by Lavender Briggs, who has really come along and knocking in shots. And she has the matchup with Clark, raising her hands in the air to get these Iowa fans off their feet.
Zone is short on the 3, and that means Clark off to the races, leaving it for Sonano, trying to somehow keep possession with the back of her knee. Iowa leading 11-7. Brenda Free said, this is not a traditional rivalry for us, but this year it feels like it is.
Great defensive effort there to get all ball in the block.
Their first meeting, Diamond Miller gave credit to Iowa for how they guarded her as Bree McDaniel, who had a great game in the quarterfinals, hits her first shot.
Brenda Free said she had a loss in her family recently and was very emotional once they got here, but it was good to see her play the way that she was.
Caitlin Clark drains another one. Here, Iowa freshman Hannah Stuelke checking in to replace Monica Sonano, and she'll pick up the loose ball. See the pressure from Miller and Sellers once she crosses half court. From Minnetonka, Caitlin Clark, another 3.
Wow. 6-0 run by Iowa. Now, Caitlin Clark, you've seen her do some incredible things, but look at how far away she is from the line, first of all. Took a little contact on the way down. Got her feet set, coming to the left. Look where she is. 10 toes down in the deep water on the court here on semifinal Saturday. Just spectacular range.
Bree McDaniel forces it and picks up a traveling violation. Iowa with this 8-point lead right now. Clark 3 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Saw that sign that said food prices, $952. Watching Caitlin Clark, priceless. I love it.
Approaching the midway point of the first semifinal, number 2. Kate Martin cuts exquisitely to the basket.
She's been leading the country in scoring basically the last 3 seasons. Look at her numbers. 25 points, more than 5 boards, more than 5 assists, 15 times. The rest of the league, 8 times. I mean, she's a phenomenon. And everyone knows what she can do, but no one seems to be able to take it away, except for when Maryland was able to quiet her in the last game, but not so much early on here in the tournament.
Coach Bluter said, this Maryland team guarded us the best I had ever seen.
They want to get the stops and go, but they haven't been able to get the stops. So now their pace is stunted.
Diamond Miller.
And it was the right hand. The left hand, I think, got the ball cleanly, but that right hand got her in the upper back.
And a Stuelke. Does she think she's Caitlin Clark out here with that dish to Monica Sonano?
To be their best selves. Ooh.
Hard take by Sellers.
It looked like she was holding something on her head, so maybe there was a cut. Abby Myers coming off a 14-point game. You said it in the open, Christy, playing with so much joy right now. A lot of work ahead for Maryland. In the Big 10 all season long, but most in particularly in this tournament.
Here she makes the defensive stop, and traveling violation on bring the ball up the floor with Sellers on the bench. That's something she's been proud of, how her game has grown this season. It's having the ball in her hands, orchestrating this offense. Diamond Miller draws the foul as she goes hard. There's been so many plays this season, Christy, you talk about they're gonna have to pass the ball out, force it up somehow, and then she will score.
But she had 5 assists, no turnovers yesterday. She's playing with a level of confidence.
Monica Sonano, with this team not having a true big, she has had to do everything, every position for the Terps this year. Graves has 1-3, stopped by McKenna Warnock. There's Miller, who looks again like she's bottled up, and then there's a foul. 14 points, 5 of 13 shooting, and their most recent win. At 6:30 Eastern, only on Big 10 Network and the Fox Sports app. Now it's Briggs as Warnock loses it. Massonis, one-on-one. Miller gets by Martin for the two. Maryland doing a good job of getting back in transition defense. This is an Iowa team that wants to score within 7 seconds of the shot clock. And McKenna Warnock, don't forget about her.
Everything from McKenna Warnock when she's on the court.
Diamond Miller.
And that was a moon ball right there by Diamond Miller with that early lift. A teardrop, almost a floater from 3 for the senior.
Plays she makes are graceful, fierce at the same time. Marshall dials up another 3. Monica Sonano working the glass and puts it in.
I can get my own touchdown in here. I can rely upon myself. I'm an independent thinker and an independent mover she was on that particular possession.
Under 30 seconds to play. Miller one-on-one against Martin. Lobs it into a whole lot of Hawkeyes.
And that was not there whatsoever. Iowa's done a good job of clogging the lane and being up the line to disrupt any weak side action for Maryland there to make a play.
Bree McDaniel, great on-ball defender, comes in against Clark. 5 seconds. Dishes it off to Sonano. One more pass, and they will not get a shot off. Winner of